let's talk about Harry Potter. I mean, really talk about it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this absolute cultural titan. We're not just taking a trip down memory lane, we're deconstructing an icon to figure out what makes it tick and why, after all this time, its magic feels as powerful as ever. Just think about this number for a second. 25 plus years. For over a quarter of a century, this series hasn't just been sitting on bookshelves, oh no. It has been actively shaping culture, conversations, and really an entire generation of readers. That kind of staying power, that's something special.
So, that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? How on earth did a story about a boy wizard explode from a single book into a global force that completely redefined entertainment, fandom, and even the way we talk? Well, that's the mystery we're going to try to solve today.
Okay, first things first, we have to get our heads around the sheer scale of this thing. This wasn't just a successful book series. No, this was a full-on cultural takeover. I mean, it's a publishing sensation that broke all the records, a film franchise that defined a decade of cinema. It's a theme park empire where you can literally walk right into the world. It pretty much built the foundation for modern internet fandom as we know it. And maybe the most important part, it was the gateway. The thing that got millions of kids to fall in love with reading. This is so much more than just a story. So what's the secret formula? Well, the first and maybe the most crucial ingredient is the world itself. It's just a masterpiece of design that felt both totally fantastical and somehow completely believable. And that's the genius of the world building, right? It's not some distant fantasy land on another planet. The magic is hidden just beneath the surface of our world, operating in parallel. It makes it feel so close, so accessible, like any of us could get that letter tomorrow. And at the absolute heart of that world is Hogwarts. The school isn't just a setting, it's a living, breathing character. It has its own secrets, its own personality, its own dangers. Let's be honest, it was the home we all wanted. This contrast is everything. On one hand, you've got this incredible magical playground, right? Shifting stairs, enchanted ceilings, secret passageways. But on the other hand, it's a flawed reality. The danger is very real. The adults are often, frankly, incompetent, and the rules are kind of more like suggestions. It's that imperfection that makes it all feel so authentic. And here's the really clever part. The world doesn't stay the same. It grows up with the reader. It starts out pretty small and full of wonder, but then, bam! By the middle of the series, it shifts into something much, much darker. By the end, we're dealing with the brutal realities of war and injustice. The world matures as Harry does, and we are right there with him for the entire journey.
Okay, so what's the next key ingredient? The people, the characters who live in this world. The story's real power comes from characters who are deeply, unforgettably human.
And listen, this is the most important part. We don't remember these characters because they're perfect heroes. We remember them precisely because they are not. Their flaws, their mistakes, their anxieties, that's the stuff that makes them feel real. That's what lets us connect with them on such a deep level. I mean, just look at the main trio. Harry's not the most powerful wizard, not by a long shot, but his courage and loyalty are off the charts. Hermione brings the brains and that fierce determination, and Ron, well, Ron is the heart. He grounds them with his humor, his insecurities, and his incredible emotional depth. They need each other. They balance each other out perfectly. And that richness is just everywhere. You've got Dumbledore, the wise guide who's also burdened by his past. You've got Snape, one of the greatest, most complicated anti-heroes in all of literature. Even the main villain, Voldemort, is a product of his own trauma. Every single character adds another essential thread to this incredible tapestry. But you know, a great world and great characters still need a soul. And that's where we find the timeless, universal themes that lift this story from just a fun adventure into something truly profound. These are the pillars holding the whole thing up. The story argues that love isn't just a feeling. It's a powerful, protective magic born from sacrifice. It looks death right in the eye, not as something to be feared, but as a part of life. It uses the whole pure blood ideology to talk about real-world prejudice. And maybe most important of all, it champions the power of choice.
This one quote from Dumbledore just captures the story's central message perfectly. Harry might have a prophecy hanging over his head, but the series insists again and again that destiny doesn't define him. His choices do. And that is an incredibly powerful message that I think resonates with absolutely everyone. So, let's bring it all together. You've got a masterful world, you've got flawed, relatable characters, and you've got these deep, profound themes. What does it all add up to? Why, after all this time, does this story still have such a hold on us? At the end of the day, I think it's because the series plugs directly into the fundamental emotional truths of being human. It's a story about finding your place in the world, about the families we choose for ourselves, about facing your fears, and about just trying to do the right thing in a world that is messy and complicated and often dark. In other words, it's the story of growing up. And that brings us to our final thought, the real magic. It isn't just about the spells or the fantastic beasts or the magical school. All that stuff is amazing, but it's just the surface. The true, enduring magic of Harry Potter is its incredible ability to do two things at once. It rekindles that sense of childhood wonder that we all miss, while at the exact same time, it makes us confront the deepest, most complex realities of life, love, and loss. And that combination, well, that's why this story will be discovered and rediscovered for generations to come.